The twin suns of Varkos, 9 were setting when the research ship Helios Dawn broke through the thick yellow clouds. Inside the cockpit, Captain Marcus Hale sat forward, eyes sharp, hands tight on the controls. The ship shook harder than expected, as if the planet itself did not want them to land. Beside him, Dr. Elise Ward, a calm and focused xenobiologist, watched the scanner screen. Her brow slowly tightened. "There's nothing," Elise whispered. Marcus glanced at her. "Nothing meaning what?" "No animals. No animals. No plants. No microbes. The scanner shows 0 life signs." Elise's voice carried something unusual. Not fear, but confusion. "But this is supposed to be a level 7 death world. It should be full of dangerous life." Marcus smirked lightly. "Maybe it's on vacation." But Elise didn't laugh. She stared out the window as the ship descended through mist. Varkos 9 stretched out below them, a dark, endless forest of twisted metallic-looking trees. Everything stood perfectly still. No wind, no movement, no color shift, just silence. Deep, unnatural silence. Humans had visited dozens of death worlds before, but Varkos 9 felt different. A level 7 world was normally violent. Storms, predators, earthquakes, strange alien organisms. But this was too quiet. It felt wrong down to the bones. The ship finally landed on a flat, rocky area. Dust kicked up, but even that seemed to fall too fast, like something was pulling it back to the ground. The engines powered down. The silence remained. Marcus stood first and checked his gear. "All right, let's get this done fast." In and out. "The Union wants a sample report before sunrise." Elise nodded, grabbed her scanner and field pack, and followed him out of the ship. The moment they stepped onto the planet, both of them felt it. A pressure, a weight, something watching. The forest stretched out endlessly in front of them. The trees were tall and black with sharp metallic branches that looked more like blades and leaves. The soil was dark purple, almost soft like wet clay, but it didn't stick to their boots. Marcus crouched and touched the ground. "Feels strange, like the dirt is moving." Elise scanned the soil again. Still no signs of any microorganisms. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. She took a small sample and placed it in a sealed container. When she turned around, Marcus was staring into the forest, eyes narrowed. "You feel that, right?" he said quietly. Elise paused. "Yes." It was like the forest had eyes, like the entire world was holding its breath. They walked deeper into the trees. Every step echoed softly, like footsteps in a huge, empty hall. Elise scanned the surroundings, and her heartbeat slowly increased. Still nothing. No bacteria. No insects. No heat signatures. No movement. A death world without life. Marcus stopped suddenly. "Elise, the trees." She looked up. The branches were not still anymore. They had shifted, all pointing toward the humans like silent spears. Elise felt her throat dry. "This planet isn't dead." Marcus raised his rifle slightly, not to shoot, but to be ready. Nothing attacked. Nothing moved fast. Instead, the trees seemed to slowly adjust themselves, reshaping in tiny motions that were almost invisible unless you stared. It was as if the forest was listening. After 30 minutes of exploration, Elise felt confident she had enough samples. But just as she turned back toward the ship, her scanner beeped. Once. Then again. A terrified look filled her eyes. "That's impossible," she muttered. Marcus stepped beside her. "What is it?" Elise increased the scan range. These soil microbes, they have markers similar to Earth's biosphere." Marcus blinked. "You're saying Earth and this place share the same biology?" "No," Elise whispered. "I'm saying these microbes are copying our biology. They're changing in real time." Marcus's jaw tightened. "So the planet react to us?" Elise looked around, slowly, carefully. "Yes, that's exactly what I think." They both looked back toward the ship. Their ship's lights were flickering. Then suddenly, boom, a pulse of invisible energy rolled across the land, hitting them like a wave. Their suit helmets dimmed. Static filled their radios, and a strange humming vibration passed through their chests. Marcus grabbed Elise and pulled her behind a tree. What was that? The energy, it's draining power. Elise checked her device. The scanner had gone dark. The planet just disabled our ship. Marcus clenched his teeth. It doesn't want us leaving. The suns were gone now. Darkness fell quickly, unnaturally fast. The trees began to glow faintly with a soft green light, like veins under skin. Marcus and Elise moved slowly back toward the ship, but the path they had taken was gone. The trees had shifted. The forest had changed. The world had rearranged itself. Marcus whispered, "We're not lost." The planet moved. Elise's breath shook. This is a single organism. The entire forest is connected. Maybe the whole ecosystem is one mind. The ground beneath them began to tremble. A low hum filled the air, not from an animal, but from the planet itself. The hum grew louder, vibrating the soil under their boots. Marcus grabbed Elise's arm. "Run!" They sprinted through shifting trees that bent away from them. The forest no longer felt hostile. It felt curious, almost guiding them. Then the ground split open. A long, narrow crack spread across the path, glowing with green light. Marcus barely pulled Elise back in time. The crack widened like a giant mouth made of stone and roots. Elise stared into the glowing depths. "It's trying to communicate," she whispered. "Not kill us." The hum stopped. The forest stilled. The glowing crack pulsed once, twice like a heartbeat. Marcus looked around, breathing hard. What does it want? Elise swallowed and answered with the truth she felt in her bones. It wants us to understand something. Something important. Something dangerous. The forest lights brightened, as if agreeing, and the part ends here, with the world watching them in total silence. A Deathworld awakening. Marcus stood at the edge of the glowing crack, his heart pounding. The green light rising from the ground pulsed slowly, like the planet itself was breathing. Elise knelt beside the opening, holding a dim backup scanner, trying to collect any data she could. But the scanner flickered constantly, almost as if the planet refused to let its secrets be recorded. "Elise," Marcus said, voice low and tense, "we need to get back to the ship. We can't stay out here in the dark." Elise didn't look up. She was studying the glowing walls inside the crack. Strange symbols were etched into the stone-like roots, smooth and curved, like handwriting done by a giant. "These markings," Elise whispered, "they look intentional. Not random. Not natural." Marcus frowned. "Meaning someone made them?" Elise nodded slowly. "Meaning someone lived here, and they understood this planet." The crack suddenly pulsed brighter, and a wave of warm air rose from deep below, brushing Elise's face. Not burning, not hostile, almost welcoming. The hum returned, not loud this time, but soft, like a whisper passing through the trees. The branches above shifted. Small glowing particles floated down like gentle snow. Marcus tightened his grip on his rifle. "Elise, I don't think we should get too close." Elise stepped back carefully. "No, you're right. But Marcus, this planet is alive. Not just the forest. Not just the microbes. Everything is connected. It feels like..." Marcus finished the sentence for her. "Like the whole planet is one mind." She nodded with slow fear. Before they could move, the ground began shifting again, but not violently. Roots curled upward, forming a path that stretched ahead of them. A glowing tunnel of trees shaped itself, as if the forest was trying to guide them somewhere. Marcus stared at it with disbelief. "It wants us to follow?" Elise swallowed. "Yes, and I think it wants to show us something." The forest tunnel pulsed with soft green light, inviting but unsettling. Marcus exhaled hard. "Fine, we follow, but carefully." They walked into the living passage. The glowing branches above twisted open, letting faint moonlight filter through. The air grew warmer and cleaner, almost pleasant compared to the silent darkness outside. But as they walked deeper, the forest changed. The trees grew thicker, more muscular, their bark pulsing like living tissue. The ground became smooth and almost metallic, with faint patterns etched into the surface. Circles, spirals, shapes that looked like old maps or diagrams. Elise stopped and touched one of the symbols. It glowed softly. These patterns, they're designed. This is technology. Organic technology. Marcus looked around, tension rising. So this wasn't just a death world. Someone built something here. Elise nodded. Or evolved with it. They followed the path until it opened into a large circular clearing. At the center stood a massive stone-like structure, half ruined, half grown over by roots. It looked ancient, older than any known civilization. Marcus whispered, "A ruin out here." Elise walked closer, shining her small light on the carved surface. The walls were covered in murals, giant figures with long limbs and curved armor-like skin. Their faces were smooth and alien, but what caught Elise's attention were the scenes around them. The murals told a story. She described them aloud, voice trembling. These beings, they built death worlds. I see them shaping planets, releasing storms, controlling evolution. Marcus moved his light across the carvings. Another panel showed something else. A shadowy force, a dark swarm consuming entire worlds. "What's that?" he asked, pointing. Elise stared at the carving. "I don't know, but whatever it is, it terrified them. Look, Marcus, they're fleeing. They're abandoning their worlds." Marcus took a step back. So this place wasn't always empty. Something wiped them out. Elise shook her head. "No, not wiped out. Look, this panel shows a planet fighting back. Look at the storms, the mountains rising like shields." Marcus narrowed his eyes. "Is that Earth?" Elise didn't answer at first. Her voice was shaky when she finally spoke. "It looks like Earth. The same storm patterns. The same continental shapes. Marcus, the civilization, came to Earth millions of years ago, and Earth itself fought them." Marcus stared at her. "Earth fought them? How?" Elise touched the mural gently. Earth adapted, faster than they expected. The storms grew stronger, the predators more dangerous, the climate more chaotic. Earth became a weapon, a living weapon. Marcus fell silent. The idea was too large to process. Then Elise whispered the thought that chilled them both. Maybe Earth is a death world prototype. Maybe that's why humans are so strong, so adaptable, because our world trained us. Marcus looked around the clearing. So Earth is not normal, and neither is this place. Before Elise could reply, the ground beneath the ruin began to glow. The pulsing light rose upward through the roots, spreading across the murals. The hum deepened, slow, powerful, ancient. The light intensified until the entire clearing shone bright green. Marcus shielded his eyes. "Elise, what's happening?" Elise stepped backward, eyes wide. "It's showing us something." Suddenly, both of them froze, because in the center of the clearing, above the glowing ruin, a shape formed in the air, a memory, a hologram made of pure light, a vision of the past. They saw giant ships approaching Varkos 9. They saw the ancient builders running. They saw the dark swarm devouring star systems. And then they saw Earth. Earth roaring with storms. Earth exploding with evolution. Earth standing against the darkness. The memory faded. The light dimmed. The forest grew still. Elise whispered the final truth. "Marcus, this planet fears the architects. It remembers them, and it thinks they might return." Marcus swallowed hard. "So it brought us here. To warn us." Elise nodded slowly. "And because we are the children of Earth, it trusts us." The forest lights pulsed gently around them, a silent confirmation. The mystery had only deepened. And in the darkness, Varkos 9 watched them, waiting for their next move. High above the silent forest of Varkos 9, the orbital station Helion Gate hung like a silver ring against the stars. Inside, the Galactic Union Council gathered in an emergency chamber, a huge circular hall filled with representatives of 27 alien species. The air buzzed with fear and tension. A large hollow screen floated in the center, showing the last transmission received from Elise Ward before the planet cut off all communication. The screen displayed the glowing ruins, the strange symbols, and the final image, Earth fighting a cosmic force millions of years ago. Gasps echoed through the chamber. The serene representative, a slender, fragile creature with translucent blue skin, trembled. Earth fought the ancient architects? That is impossible. Humans are too young a species. A heavy voice boomed from across the hall. It belonged to the Bracker war chief, a tall reptilian warrior with bronze armor. You underestimate humans, he growled. We have seen their strength many times. The serene curled inward. Strength is not the problem. Their unpredictability is. Their aggression, their chaotic natures. If humans truly evolved on a prototype Deathworld, then humanity is far more dangerous than we believed. A wave of uneasy murmurs spread. The Union chair, an old six-eyed Zerthian named Voro, slammed his staff on the table. Order. We must analyze the evidence, not panic like hatchlings. But his voice shook, betraying his own fear. The holoscreen replayed the final moments of Elisa's message. Her voice. Earth was designed to fight invaders. Humans are the result. Static. Darkness. Voro spoke again, slower this time. If this is true, then humans are not simply survivors. They are products of a world built for war. The Kalari ambassador, a sharp, crystalline figure, stood. We must act to contain humanity. They are a potential threat to all of us. The Bracker slammed his clawed fist on the table. Contain? Humans have saved your worlds more than once. They are loyal allies. The Kalari's voice chimed cold and hard. Allies who might be weapons. The debate erupted. Voices overlapped. Fear grew like a storm. Meanwhile, far below, Elise and Marcus were still exploring the ancient clearing, unaware that the galaxy was ripping itself apart over their discoveries. Back on Varkos 9, Marcus paced at the edge of the glowing ruins. The Union needs to hear what we saw. They need the truth. Elise nodded. But the planet is blocking outgoing transmissions. It doesn't trust them. The forest lights flickered gently, as if confirming her words. Elise knelt near the glowing root network. This world thinks the architects might return. It needs someone who can stand against them. Marcus gave a tired laugh. And it picked humans? That's flattering. It picked Earth's children, Elise corrected. It sees us as the strongest option. Marcus looked at the sky. Then we need to prove we're worth that trust. They both returned to a crashed ship, which now sat covered in vines like a protected shell. Marcus tried again to power it on. Nothing. The forest hummed. A faint beam of green light touched the ship's nose. Slowly, the front lights flickered back to life. Elise stared in awe. It's repairing our ship. Marcus nodded. It wants us to spread the warning. But neither of them knew what was waiting above. Back in the council chamber, the debate had reached a boiling point. The Kalari ambassador stepped forward, holding a data pad. We cannot ignore this. Humans have survived everything we failed to handle. If Earth truly defeated the architects long ago, then humans might carry hidden abilities we cannot detect. Voro narrowed his eyes. Abilities? Like what? The Kalari lifted the pad. Adaptation speed, pain tolerance, unpredictable emotional states, creative problems solving even under extreme threat. These traits are not normal. The chamber fell silent, because it was true. No species adapted like humans. No species fought like them. No species healed as fast. No species kept going after losing everything. The serene representative whispered, "What if humans awakened something ancient inside them?" The Bracker growled. "Enough. You speak like cowards hiding under rocks." He pointed a claw toward the screen. Look at the last frame. Look at Elise Ward's face. She is warning us, not threatening us. Voro sighed. Yet fear is natural, and fear demands action. He turned to his military commander, a pale insectoid named Krex. Krex, prepare a fleet. We must go to Varkos 9. The hall erupted. The Brackers shouted, "To rescue the humans?" Krex clicked his mandibles. "No, to bring them in for containment." The Bracker roared with fury. "This is madness." Voro raised a hand. "If humans carry knowledge that could destabilize the galaxy, we must secure them." He paused. "And if the planet itself is alive and hostile, The fleet may need to neutralize it. Silence fell like a blade. The first mistake. Fleet Commander Krex wasted no time. Within minutes, 5 Union warships changed course toward Varkos 9. Their engines burned bright across the dark void. The Bracker ambassador watched the ships leave with clenched fists. Fools. They think they can control humans? Or a death world? He turned and stormed out of the chamber. Varkos 9 feels the approach. Elise felt a sudden wave of cold air brush across the clearing. The trees shivered. The ground hummed louder than before. Marcus stiffened. Elise, do you feel that? She nodded. Yes. Something is coming from the sky. The planet pulsed with warning. The glowing crack near the ruin brightened again. Marcus raised his head and saw faint lights far above the clouds. Starship lights. His eyes widened. Union ships. They're here. Elise's heart sank. But they shouldn't be. We didn't send a message. Marcus cursed under his breath. They think we're a threat. They're coming for us. The forest reacted instantly. Trees bent inward, forming a protective dome over the humans. The ground shook as roots thickened beneath their feet. The air crackled with green light. The planet was preparing for danger. Elise whispered, Marcus, the world is defending us. The sky rumbled as the first warship entered the atmosphere. The suspense deepened. The galaxy had chosen fear. And Varkos 9 had chosen humanity. The news of the Death World core spread to the galaxy like a shockwave. Entire civilizations, some ancient, some young, felt the echo of fear crawling through their political halls. No one expected humans, the young species of the Milky Way, to uncover something so dangerous, so powerful, and so forbidden. But now they had, and the galaxy could no longer pretend humans were harmless. Commanders, diplomats, scientists, and spies from 100 alien systems studied the available fragments of the humans' recorded data. There was no full file. Dr. Rana and Commander Hale had locked everything away behind a human-only encryption. But even the few leaked fragments changed everything. Deep inside the Zirthal Council Hall, one of the oldest political centers in the galaxy, leaders gathered. The vast room glowed with blue light, and tall crystal pillars stood like silent guardians. The air was cold, and every breath echoed. At the center stood the High Speaker Zirthal, an ancient creature with 6 arms and skin like cracked stone. His eyes glowed silver as he looked around the council. Humans, he said slowly, have uncovered truth we failed to protect. No one answered. Several species shifted nervously in their seats. Some were afraid, some were angry, and some were simply confused. A small, bird-like alien named Cheery clicked her beak. But humans should not have been able to reach the core. How did they survive the radiation storms? That gravity field alone should have crushed them. An armored reptilian general hissed out a reply. They are Deathworlders. Pain and danger follow them the way air follows us. A murmur spread across the room. The High Speaker raised a hand. Enough. The real question is not how they survived. The question is what they intend to do now. Meanwhile, light years away, a secret meeting took place on a hidden moon base belonging to the Varkon Dominion, a military empire known for conquering weaker species. Their warlord sat around a floating map of the galaxy. A Varkon commander struck the table. We cannot let humans control the core. If they understand it fully, they will rise above us all. Another officer nodded. The galaxy already fears them, but if they gain Deathworld's secrets, they won't be feared, they'll be dominant. The warlords planned quietly, their glowing red eyes locked on a single idea. Sabotage, interference, take the discovery from humanity before it was too late. Back on Earth, in the United Human Nations HQ, Dr. Rana stared at the screen in disbelief. Dozens of encrypted messages flooded in from alien governments. Some begged for cooperation. Some demanded explanations. Others sent thinly veiled threats. Commander Hale paced behind her. They're scared, he said, and fear makes them unpredictable. Dr. Rana nodded slowly. We need to tell them something before panic spreads. Before she could decide what to send, the entire building shook. Warning alarms screamed across the HQ. A soldier burst into the room. Sir, multiple ships have entered Earth orbit. Unregistered signals. Hale rushed to the window. From the sky, bright streaks of light descended like falling stars. There were dozens, no, hundreds. It's a meeting, Hale muttered, but not the friendly kind. A hologram flickered to life in the center of the room. It was a high speaker of Zirthal himself. His voice trembled, not with fear, but with urgency. Commander Hale, Dr. Rana, the galaxy demand an explanation. Within minutes, humanity prepared an emergency assembly broadcast across the Milky Way. Cameras activated. Lights intensified. Soldiers lined the walls. The room was tense, filled with a pressure, so heavy it felt like the air itself was watching. Dr. Rana stepped forward, her hands shaking, but her voice steady. "Fellow galactic citizens," she began, "we discovered the Deathworld core by accident, but we did not activate anything. We have not taken anything. We have simply confirmed that the oldest legends of the galaxy are true. Billions of aliens watch through holographic screens. We want cooperation," Rana continued. "Not control, not war." But the Varkon Dominion warlord, streaming from his own command ship, cut in with a roar. "Your species lies. Humans will use this weapon to rise above us all." Commander Hale stepped forward, his expression stone-hard. "We didn't ask for any of this, but we survived the core because we are Deathworld born. And if you threaten our world, we will defend it." The silence that followed was cold and heavy. Then, unexpectedly, a new voice chimed in, one from a peaceful, old, wise species called the Anura. "Humans," the Anura leader said softly, "did what none of us could, and they did not destroy the core, experiment on it, or weaponize it. They preserved it. For that, they deserve respect, not fear." The entire galaxy held its breath. For the first time in history, someone openly defended humanity in front of every major power. Rana and Hale exchanged a shocked look. The Anura leader continued, "The Deathworld core is not a weapon. It is a warning, and only the humans understood it." But while the galaxy argued, something far more dangerous was already in motion. On the silent edge of the solar system, a Varkon stealth team approached the Deathworld core station, preparing to infiltrate it. They had no idea that the core was awakening again, reacting to their presence, reacting to their fear. Humanity was not the only one being tested. The entire galaxy was. And the real danger had only just begun. The Varkon stealth team moved silently through the dark void near the Deathworld core station. Their ship, covered in black armor that absorbed light, glided like a shadow. Inside, 6 elite soldiers watched the ancient structure float before them. It looked dead, cold, and forgotten. But something inside it was alive. The Varkon leader, General Trask, adjusted his helmet and hissed. "This station holds a secret power. If humans can survive its tests, we must claim it first." His second-in-command nodded. "We take whatever humans found. Then we destroy the station." No one noticed a faint pulse of red light deep inside the core's heart. A heartbeat, a warning. Back on Earth, Commander Hale and Dr. Rana were still facing the galaxy-wide broadcast. Tension filled the United Human Nations HQ like smoke. Alien governments shouted over each other on the holographic screens. Humans must surrender the data. No species can be trusted with Deathworld knowledge. They are hiding something. They must be controlled. Hale raised his hand, trying to calm the chaos. "Stop. Listen. We." But he froze mid-sentence, because the alarms changed. A new alert flashed across every screen. "Unauthorized access detected. Deathworld core breach." Dr. Rana's face drained of color. "Hale, someone's inside the core." The council leaders went silent. Even the Varkon warlord blinked, surprised, because he had not ordered any official attack. Dr. Rana checked the readings again. "It's a small infiltration team. 6 signatures. They bypass scans somehow." Hale clenched his jaw. "So the galaxy talks about peace, and someone sneaks behind all of us." The Anura leader spoke softly. "This is dangerous. The core reacts to emotion. Fear, anger, violence. It will awaken." Dr. Rana whispered, Then we have to stop them, before the core does. Inside the ancient Deathworld structure, the Varkon soldiers split into two teams. Their boots touched the ground as if stepping on frozen bones. The station felt alive beneath their feet. Every wall showed scars from time. Burned metal, twisted corridors, broken glyphs that glowed faintly. General Trask approached the dark hall. "This place is nothing special," he growled. "Just old tech." But the moment he touched the wall, a loud metallic echo spread. Then the lights returned. One by one. Boom, boom, boom. Long corridors lit up in deep red. Floor plates vibrated. Air stirred like wind in a dead room. The station had awakened for the first time in thousands of years. Trask raised his blaster. "Stay alert. Something is responding to us." His soldier pointed toward the far end of the corridor. "Sir, the walls are moving." And they were. The metal shifted, folding into new shapes, forming paths, sealing doors, guiding them deeper inside like prey into a mouth. Something wanted them inside. On Earth, Dr. Rana activated a hologram of the core structure. It's responding to the intruders, but not the way it responded to us. Hale frowned. "What do you mean?" "When we entered, the station scanned us. It tested us, but it didn't react violently." She zoomed in on the readings. With the Varkans, the radiation spikes are rising. Gravity levels are changing. Energy fields forming around them. The core sees them as a threat. The high speaker Zirthal stared at the data with dread. The core is a Deathworld guardian. It reacts to the heart of the intruder. Humans are reckless but balanced. Varkans, he paused. Varkans are built on conquest. Hale looked at Dr. Rana. "We need a team there, fast." But the Inura leader raised a hand gently. "No, the humans must go alone." "Why?" Hale asked. "Because only Deathworlders will survive what awaits inside." Meanwhile, the Varkon team entered a vast circular chamber. The air shimmered. Strange energy patterns pulsed like veins in giant metallic walls. At the center floated a black sphere the size of a human head. Silent, smooth, and terrifying. General Trask stepped forward. "This is it. The core's heart." His soldier whispered, "It looks alive." Before Trask could respond, the sphere opened, splitting like a blinking eye. A deafening sound vibrated through the chamber. Not a roar, not a machine noise. A voice, not words, just a strong emotional presence. A warning. The soldiers clutched their helmets as the voice pushed into their minds. Images flashed. Danger, fire, collapse, ancient wars. Species wiped out. The core showed them what it had seen ages ago. Trask screamed, "Fight it!" Tape the sphere. He reached forward. The core reacted instantly. A burst of energy exploded outward, sending soldiers flying like rag dolls. Armor shattered. Alarm screeched. The station closed the chamber doors with earth-shaking force. The Varkans struggled to stand, but gravity shifted. Some crashed into the ceiling. Others collapsed on the floor as invisible pressure pushed them down. The core was not testing them. It was eliminating them. On Earth, Dr. Rana's voice trembled as she read the new signals. "The core is going critical. If the intruders keep pushing, it won't just kill them." Hale finished the sentence. "It will release a system-wide shockwave." The high speaker's eyes widened. "Millions could die." The Inura leaned forward. "Humans, you must go now." Dr. Rana nodded. "Prepare the ship. We're going back in." Hale tightened his gloves. "This time, we're not exploring." He paused. "We're stopping a disaster." As the humans launched toward the Deathworld core, the galaxy watched in frightened silence. Every species, friend or foe, realized the truth. If humanity failed, everyone would pay the price. The core was awakening again. And the real test for humanity was about to begin. The human strike ship, UHS Resolute, cut through space like an arrow of burning light. Inside, Commander Hale stood fully armored, staring at the Deathworld core growing larger through the window. The ancient structure glowed with deep red energy now, brighter and angrier than ever before. Beside him, Dr. Rana reviewed the readings again and again. It's getting worse, Hale. The gravity spikes are rising every minute. If the core unleashes that energy burst, it'll cross half the solar system. Hale tightened his jaw. And the Varkans are still inside? Yes, Rana whispered. Barely alive. The crew fell silent. Not because they'd pitted the enemy, but because the core didn't care whom it destroyed next. The ship docked with a rough metallic clang. Lights dimmed. Air vibrated. The core felt alive, almost breathing. Hale looked at Dr. Rana. Ready? She nodded once. Let's go. The moment the humans entered the station, everything changed. The walls stopped pulsing red. The vibrations softened. The violent energy stabilized, just slightly. The core recognized them. Hale whispered, "It remembers us." Dr. Rana kept moving. That means we still have a chance. They pushed forward, their boots clanging against the ancient metal floor. Every corridor twisted deeper and deeper, like veins inside a living being. Strange symbols glowed softly, illuminating a path only the core understood. Something was guiding them. When they reached the second junction, Hale froze. The air was thick, too thick. "Rana," he said quietly, "feel that?" "Yes," she answered. "The core is increasing pressure again, but not on us." A distant scream echoed to the hallway, sharp, metallic, and full of pain. The Varkans. Inside the main chamber, General Trask lay pinned under invisible gravity. His armor was cracked. His soldiers were scattered and unconscious, crushed by unseen force. The floating black sphere hovered above them like a watchful eye, glowing with cold silver light. Trask lifted his head painfully as Hale and Rana entered. "You humans," he spat, barely breathing. "You came to claim it for yourselves." Hale didn't waste time. "We came to stop you from destroying the galaxy, Trask." "The core isn't a weapon," Dr. Rana added. "It's an ancient guardian. It only attacks when it senses fear, aggression, and chaos." Trask's voice cracked. "Humans are Deathworlders. You fear nothing." Rana shook her head. "We fear plenty. We just don't let fear control us." The sphere turned toward the humans. A wave of emotion washed through the chamber. Not words, but a sensation. Recognition. Memory. Warning. Rana stepped forward cautiously. "It remembers our first visit. It knows we try to understand it, not use it." Hale raised his hands. "We don't want your power. We just want to stop it from destroying everything." The core pulsed again. A bright beam of light shot out, straight toward Rana. Hale reached for her, but the light stopped inches from her chest. Hovering, scanning, Rana whispered, "It's asking something." The sphere displayed visions in her mind. Flashbacks of ancient wars, burning planets, and species destroying each other. Rana's heart pounded as the message became clearer. "It wants to know," she breathed, "if we're the same as them, the ones who built it, the ones who fought and died, the ones who failed." Hale stepped beside her. "Tell it we choose a different path." Rana reached out slowly, her hand trembling, and touched the edge of the light. "We want peace," she said, "even if we have to fight for it. But we won't start the fire." The chamber fell silent. The light faded, then changed to a soft blue. The pressure lifted. The walls relaxed. Energy stabilized. The core accepted their answer. But then something unexpected happened. The sphere drifted downward, stopping mere inches from the ground. Black plates around it unfolded like petals opening. Inside was a crystalline structure, bright white and humming with deep power. Rana's breath caught. This is the true core, the inner heart. Hale asked, "What does it want us to do with it?" As if answering, the crystal projected a star map into the air, thousands of glowing points forming an entire galaxy. But several were marked in red. Rana gasped, "These aren't planets. These are sealed Deathworld sites, hidden for millions of years." Hale felt his stomach tighten. "And they're beginning to activate again." Rana looked at the map. "It's giving this to us, not as a weapon, but as a responsibility." Hale nodded slowly. "Humanity has to protect the galaxy from the old dangers. because no one else can set foot on these worlds and survive. The core closed itself gently, folding its layers back like a blooming flower returning to its shell. A final pulse filled the room, warm, calm, peaceful, and then everything dimmed. The station returned to silence. The danger was over. For now. Outside, every alien ship waited in absolute silence. Billions watched the live feed. When the humans finally exited the core station, carrying only a single crystal sphere, a wave of voices erupted across the broadcast. What happened? Did the humans stop it? Are we safe? Commander Hale stepped forward, visible to the entire galaxy. The core will not destroy anyone. Humanity has resolved the crisis, and we have been given something, knowledge to prevent future dangers. Dr. Rana held up the crystal sphere. We will share what we learn. But understand this, only humans can enter these ancient places safely. So yes, the responsibility is now ours. The galaxy fell silent. The Inura leader bowed deeply. You have earned our respect, humans. Even the High Speaker lowered his head. For the first time in history, the entire galaxy acknowledged humanity's worth, not through force, not through war, but through courage, balance, and the heart of a Deathworlder. Commander Hale turned to Rana. Guess we're Guardians now. Rana smiled softly. Guardians of Deathworld secrets. The camera faded. The broadcast ended. And humanity stepped into a new future, stronger, respected, and no longer underestimated. Because two humans uncovered the deadliest secret and forced the galaxy to finally respect humanity.